Alright, flight boss bitch. I want to talk about because my camera is being clogged up right now with uploading shit. So I want to talk about five, phi. They like to call it the golden ratio or things of that nature. But here I'm about to equate to you the reason why it's looked at like the perfection number. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think it's seven or things of that nature, but actually five. Five is the perfection number. And before we even get into anything, I just want to correlate a few slangs. This is why people like to say things as five. That's five. You know what I'm saying? Fire. You know what I'm saying? It's equated to five. Um, uh, when something's fly, you know what I'm saying? Phi itself, the golden ratio. Yeah, when people like to say something is fly, uh, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. But not to even get too deep into that, but all right, let's talk about five. Now, when you look at five itself, right, it correlates to now look at the number five, not the Roman numeral number, because the Roman numeral number just means as the four elements come together and there's one outside of the elements, which that's one reason why it's looked at as perfection, because it represents the four elements in ether. But then other than that, I'm about to give you the reason and why is that. Because the elements mix in with ether to create realms of realities and portals. But look, when you look at the number five, right, you got on top of it, you got a box. You got like a half of a box, right? And then on the bottom half, you got a half of a circle. So right here, this is the square circle coming together. And then it already has chosen sides. And like you can look at my previous videos as I explained, the left brain is square, the right brain is round. So when you cut both of those in half, like the square and the circle is the same thing. It's just one is internal, one is external. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you look at the top of the five, that's going to correlate with the left side of things. You know what I'm saying? And then when you look at the bottom half, it's going to correlate with the right side. So here you got half of the box on the left side, and then you have the rest of the box on the right side coming together. So then people got the misunderstanding with the square circle. Now the square circle, square is logic, left brain, right? And if we know round is like realms of reality and right brain, right? Then we know what's round is your circumstance, your 360, your situation, the circumstance that you up under. So that's what's round. So your situation is what's round, right? The moment you start trying to logically understand the situation you're around, you created a square circle. Now the square circle is not a physical. It's hard to do it in physical. Some scientists figured out, but a lot of times they say it don't exist. But it's not dense. It's not a physical thing, but it exists. And it has a look. It looked like a merkaba or something like that when it starts to take shape and form on all sides, on each side. But at the same time, that's technically what it is. When you start to logically trying to rationalize your situation, put your situation in boxes, basically. Like for an example, if you have a child, that's your situation, that's your circumstance, that's your 360, right? Now, the things you have to do with this child, you have to take this child to school, right? Now you logically put a piece of that situation into a box. So that's a square circle. That's a square circle. You see what I'm saying? Now, when we want to talk about square circles in general, and let's talk about five being perfection. When we want to look at the phi and five in general, it's five dimensions. I mean, it's nine dimensions altogether. Anything that's added is compound. So now, anybody who watch my channel is the only channel that break down the dimensions the way you're supposed to look at it. Nobody got look, I'm an oversoul. Nobody got the right concept. I live there. I know this is dimensions. The zero dimension, that's this being, is the dot. The first dimension is, they're going to say, is a line from the square, from the left brain, but from a right brain point of view, the first one is, it represents the situation of being selfish, the circumstance of being selfish. Two dimension they're going to say it represents duality, and it's the line to another line. Yeah, so it represents, duality. It represents, something outside of you, relativeness, how you can relate to others. So anytime you're relating to someone else or something outside of you, you're stepping into the second dimension. Now the third dimension is 3D. Your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? What's around you, your circumstance, your situation. So the point that you can take your 1 and 2 degrees and do a 360, do a circle, and be able to understand your inner surroundings. That's you're in 3D, right? Now 4D is being a judge. Being a judge of your surroundings. So that's just like learning your surroundings. The moment you start to understand your surroundings, that's 4D. So that's where square circles exist and shit like that. That's where humans came up with time at and all that shit in the fourth dimension. Because everybody been in 3D, but been training to elevate to the fourth dimension. You know what I'm saying? Now people are understanding because the whole world is going into the fifth dimension now. Now people been have had concepts of it, but people are mentally trained, and where the solar system is at now, they're getting them trained. So the fifth dimension is becoming the authority of your surroundings. Becoming the authority of you see what I'm saying? So you see how we got from 1 degree to 5 degree, becoming to authority. Now, what happens when you become your authority? Become the authority of your surroundings. You start to, after you done learned what's going on in your surroundings from 4D, you became the judge of your you start judging your surroundings. You step into 5D. You start to act on what you have learned to see if it could be duplicated or things of that nature. So anytime you act, you take your light and then act on the lights that's already here. That's your authority, and you give something attention. You know what I'm saying? You start to act on something. So that's you piercing through the reality of the portal. So that's your elements combining. That's your 4 elements combining with the 1 element. So that's like a five, fifth dimension. You see what I'm saying? Because when you just learning, you're still giving attention, but you're not acting on anything. You know what I'm saying? Once you learn something, you want to act on it. Like, for an example, the 3rd dimension, there's music around, right? The 4th dimension, boom. Okay, now you're judging it. You're seeing what music is. The 5th dimension, now you want to do music. So now you acting your authority into that realm of reality. So you taking all of your elements and interchanging it with the ether of that. You see what I'm saying? So it becomes 5. So that's where perfection came from. That's the perfect way to create an orb, a perfect way to create a situation. How one go within itself, how it goes without itself. So that's why 5 is seen as perfect. Now the human concept of 5 in general, a human concept of perfect, of things being perfect in general is off, is wrong. Now, if something carries the energy of perfection, which like 5, you know what I'm saying, then it may play out in characteristics traits of someone looking at it and looking at it like, oh, this is something that look very appealing. You know what I'm saying? But the word perfect itself, people have a misconception. Perfect is just being able to go into something. The attribute of being able to go into something. The attribute of being able to go into a realm of reality. That's what perfect is. So the better you see any example, fuck beauty and all that shit. Anytime you see an example of someone being able to do something with ease, go into something with ease, like just go into something without no struggle or without no, just little to no energy at all, just go into something and ain't have no problems with it. That's what perfection is. So when you're in realms of realities and under lights and illusions, it play out as in, if you are a person with good looks, or you got a lot of the energy or something like that, you may be able to get something faster than other people may get. If you are a person who know how to do a talent real good, you may know how to access the fruits and labors of that sport faster than somebody else. If you are a person who carry a little bit of energy of, see, it's like all 5 type shit. But see, what scientists and shit try to do is equate the golden ratio and try to make some right brain shit some left brain shit. They'll try to take that ratio shaping of it and logically make it a shape and try to say, if you see this logic shape on somebody in this perfect way, then they're carrying. That don't even make motherfucking shit. That don't even make motherfucking sense. The golden ratio is everywhere. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what location you point at a person's face or whatever like that. That 5 ratio is going to be everywhere. So you can't point it out externally. That's an internal thing. That's a yin realm thing that happens. You know what I'm saying? You can't take a yin realm shape. This is the reason why they still got problems with the square circle. You can't take a yin realm shape and try to logically compare it to something external. And that's all people doing. That's why it only comes out flat. It only comes out 2D. You can never see it in 3D. You got to use your mind to realize it in 3D. And then that's an illusion. That's a portal. Because who created that drawing and the way of that looking takes you into, now that's your only concept of looking at it. Like, you only got one kind of concept of space. You only got one kind of concept of something being drawn on a piece of paper. You only got one kind of concept of a globe. You know how many shapes, forms, and realms of realities these motherfuckers be taking shape? Do you understand that? You see what I'm saying? It's just people are confused between the right and left brain, and it goes so far within the vessel to the point that you got left brain workers and right brain workers when we need a combine in the middle, which that's what I'm coming in for. But yeah, you have people explain the phi ratio and try to explain it to you from an external point of view when it's an internal thing. You can't do that. The phi ratio is here. You are perfection. I'm perfection. It's perfection everywhere. Everybody has the power of being able to go into something. Now, the pressure and the shit. I got bass. I just woke up, y'all. Now, the pressure and the opposition that you give yourself in order to go into something is on you. You the one who create ugly situations for you. You could create beautiful, perfect situations for yourself. You the one who create ugly situations for yourself. You the one who put limits onto yourself. You the one who let other spiritual annotations and things out here take you away from the fire. You see what I'm saying? You the one let them do that because you place boundaries and limits. And then you look into the mirror. And then they create things for you to the point you can't see the perfectity in yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't see the phi in yourself. You can't see the go to ratio in yourself. So that, and then they take that go to ratio and place it on fucking the Mona Lisa, the Leonardo DiCaprio, Da Vinci, whatever the fuck y'all languages is. Y'all know the Mona Lisa picture. You know what I'm saying? They'll fuck around and say they'll pick a spot that anybody could pick on their face and say she had the phi ratio. This is why this blew up. This is why this powerful. So now you running around looking for phi ratios and drawing phi ratios in your pictures, which just you being able to draw is a phi ratio. You better be happy you even got the ability to have something in your hand to be able to draw something out of your imagination. You just went into a realm of reality. That was perfect. That was the phi ratio, asshole. But your ass try to look for it in the outside world again. Here they go again. The external world, external beings. Try to make you find it externally, which is everywhere external. The external realm itself is the fucking phi ratio, dumbass. But they're going to single it out, try to make you specifically find it, and then the attention that they make you give it to find it is Mona Lisa pictures and shit like that. So for you to be a great artist, you got to go towards niggas who made dumbass pictures back in the day that make no sense, and that's ugly ass women and ugly ass men and shit, and make you think that's perfection and beauty because they pointed out the phi ratio. Now you took all your phi ratio and gave it to them. Now they used the phi ratio power, and then you try to duplicate it, make your picture have something to do with the phi ratio, then you never get as popular as Leonardo da Vinci and shit like that. So when someone asks you, who inspired you? Who inspired you? What's the first fucking names you say? Leonardo fucking da Vinci and fucking who the other motherfuckers? Picasso and shit. These the motherfucking first niggas you name. So these motherfuckers got all the power and energy. They keep experiencing this realm of reality and shit, and you can't see it no other way. You think you need them to know what you know, where you already know what the fuck they know. I'm tired of this motherfucking shit, man. For real, like I be dead serious, but sometimes I gotta laugh, smoke, cause my high and smoke brings me back down to reality. A lot of y'all niggas need to smoke to get high, to see what I see. I'm already up there. I gotta smoke to come down, to ground myself, to even logically tell y'all what the fuck I see. You see what I'm saying? But that's the motherfucking phi ratio, man. Don't let these motherfucking scientists, all these motherfuckers out here confuse you. Anytime you need some source to understand, to really understand and come back, you come back to Archangel fucking Uriel. You know what I'm saying? Because we is one. And I'm not telling you nothing wrong, nothing bad. We learning how to decipher every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's no greater knowledge. You always got to go into something. So why not go into the best fucking shit? And me and my soul group, we got the best fucking shit. We got the best science. Fuck kings and lords. Y'all want to be lords. Y'all want to be lord to the ground. Y'all can rule this lower realm of reality. Y'all can rule the trees and shit. Me and my soul group don't give a fuck about that shit. We come in and take that shit and leave as we please. Cause we ain't clinging on to this shit and we going to a bigger and better motherfucking place with more of that shit. Y'all could be stingy. Y'all could be like, oh, we need all the trees. Oh, we need all this shit. Y'all be stingy to that shit. Nigga, with me and my soul group going, it's plenty more where the fuck that came from. Y'all can have that shit. You be fucking stingy, you bitch ass motherfuckers. Y'all put prices on all that shit. Y'all want to sell air and all that shit. Y'all do that fucking shit. That's cool. That's cool. When me and my soul group going, there's plenty more of that for everybody, nigga. You understand that shit? Do you understand that? I'm not gonna waste my energy to dissipate my motherfucking body for some realms of realities and Olympia, some talents and jump through fire hula hoops and deteriorate my body just to get the ring Saturn, just to get the shit that y'all think that we need to get in order to be praised. For we could be looked at for gods could be looked, and gods and lords and kings to be looked at as spectacles. Y'all, we ain't spectacles. We ain't beggars. We come in and motherfucking take and we motherfucking get up and leave. When this shit done and dried up, we gone. We ain't attaching to none of this shit here, and we ain't taking none of this shit with us. So why was we gonna attach to this shit? We come in here, we eat the shit, we take the shit, motherfucker, we absorb, we learn, we take all the motherfucking knowledge, we go, we expand, and we ascend. We ain't worried about shit that's left here. Shit that's done in the dirt. Y'all motherfuckers was slaves. I wasn't no slaves. Y'all motherfuckers was Jews. I wasn't no Jew. Saying? Y'all motherfuckers got oppressed. I ain't get oppressed. Nigga, I ain't experienced that shit. And I ain't finna take on none of those experiences now either. Cause I wasn't a part of that. You was a part of that. You motherfucker. Flight boss, bitch. We out this motherfucker. And I see in the light.